Hello, Just Jags here and welcome to my channel. Today, Christmas, sort of creative toy review. I saw this, $3.99, Home Bargains, Stuff and Sew Grinch, about 32 centimetres. So I thought, let's give it a go. Let's see. I mean, it says you get everything that you need, like sewy bits, needle, hat, stuffing. Not as much to do with the Grinch as I was hoping, but I thought, well, we'll have a look anyway. It'd be cool if this was in more bits, but let's see. I guess they want to make it like, an easy start in case someone's not a big sewer. But in sewing defense, if you get given the right pieces, it's not that tricky to put something together. So let's have a look. We have, this looks like embroidery thread. We have white and red embroidery thread. Stuffing. Is there a needle in there? Oh, there's a needle hidden in there. Oh, and his hat's there. Okay. So what's it telling us to do? Take a piece of white thread, insert it through the eye of the needle, create a double thread. Put your hand through the hole in the plush's back and find a place in the head for the hat. Stitch the hat around the head with double thread. Fill the plush with stuffing provided. Start by filling the arms and legs. Use small bits at a time to spread stuffing evenly and avoid lumps. Sew the back of the plush with double red thread. Fair enough. Make sure the stitches are close together so no stuffing can be seen. Make a tight knot. They've obviously tried to make it as easy as possible, but if someone's never sewn before, they're not showing you like any stitches to use. So let's put them together as they say. I mean, do we sew the hat on? I know it's not going to sit on there, but we can sew that hat on when the head is stuffed. They're telling you to do this and to do this. Or should we do it the way that they've told us to do it? I'd prefer to sew the hat on after. But we'll do it as per instructions. So, where's our little needle? There he is. My little tiny needle. I mean, it's very nice thread. Because like I say, it's embroidered thread. So it's going to be very nice. Now, how easy is this going to be to thread through the eye of the needle, especially being embroidered thread? Now, they're giving you it's quite a big hole, but it's not a wide hole. We are in. I mean, this is thick thread. I don't think we're going to need to. I tend to, a controversy in the sewing world, I tend to double thread everything, but not with embroidered thread. It's already really thick. If that's what they want us to do, that is what we'll do. It doesn't say to knot the end, but trust me, knotting the end when you double thread makes your job so much easier. If you put his hat on at a slight angle, it is on the picture on a slight angle, isn't it? Right, here we go then. Now, I would prefer not to see the stitches. If we pull it in tight enough. So I'm going in quite close together, but then quite wide on the underside, because we can afford to. But that'll stop them from being so visible on the front. And since his hat's not going to be, we're not going to be playing tug of war with this guy. I mean, it feels nice. It's quite a nice material we've got here. If you do find yourself getting a bump, separate your thread and pull each one. And that usually gets rid of your bump. Okay, last one. And we'll just stick it through. Let's pull his head through here so we can see. Well, that's handy. We've sort of ended on the seam there, so tying it off is going to be nice and easy. So I tend to send it through, so if you can see that, it's come through here, but I'm pulling it through there. And then we'll go around again. So we're going to create a knot. That definitely won't go anywhere. We have our little Santa's hat there. Okay, stuffing. Let's have a look-see. Now it's always good to fluff up your stuffing. That will also help with lumps. And we will perhaps go, scooch that up there so I don't get caught up in everything. Down legs first. He's got a hole in his foot. Well, I can show you how to do an easy repair as well at the same time. Fancy that. Will that be the only hole we find on him? I'd be surprised. And how you stuff is entirely up to you. I try to keep it quite loose stuff, especially if I'm doing a kit like this. Initially, to make sure that you've got enough, because you can always go in there and repack a bit thicker anywhere that you want. It's not looking too bad, is he? I'm pleasantly surprised he's not so wonky, given that he was like, he's $3.99. He's coming there. Well, I think we'll just use this all. I mean, Grinch has got quite a paunch on him, hasn't he? So we're going to stick this all in there. You can do a bit more around the front. He's got that little pokey outy gut. Well, he doesn't look too bad, does he? Let's sew him up, and then I will show you all how to repair this. And it just looks like it wasn't sewn together properly. As you can see, the sew lines haven't cut. It's not like it's bust a seam. They just cut it so fine on this side that it wasn't sewn together properly. And we can fix that from the outside. So let's get his back sewn up. Now it doesn't tell you any particular stitches to use, but I'm going to use on the back here what I call the teddy bear stitch, because it's mainly used with soft toys. Its actual name is an invisible stitch. And this is what we could have used to put the hat on. No, I don't have a need to buy another one of these, other than I might gift it to my girls, in which case I will need to get another one to keep it fair. So if I do, we'll put that one together my way. But yeah, with the invisible stitch, the teddy bear stitch, I start on the underside. Now because this is super thick thread, what I'd normally do is send that back through straight away and loop it through our hole, because with normal thread, even with a knot on the end, it would still be fine enough to pull through under any pressure. And now the lovely teddy bear stitches, we'll start over there, so we'll come over here, go one in, one out. And then exactly opposite where we come out there, onto the other side, one in, one out. So we're getting this. Now with normal thread, I do this all the way down and then I tighten it up. But because we're using embroider's thread, I'm not going to do that because it won't all pull, but when you pull it tight, it pretty much disappears. So you can't really see the stitch from the outside. So that's how we're going to do him up, and that's how I'd recommend doing him up. This isn't a particularly tricky stitch to do. There are more complicated ones. This just has a really nice finish to it. So there we go. Now, again, because this is quite thick thread, what I'd normally do at this point is just do a simple knot like I did with the underside of that and send the thread through and pull it out somewhere else. Because we're quite close to the seam here and this is quite chunky, I'm going to bring it down one more. Make sure that we are nice and tight. And I am going to do that, but I'm going to do it here so it's going to be quite hidden towards the bottom. So just a little tiny bit. Now I'm only going to bring this one in once. And I'm going to push it through and bring it out somewhere. And then we're just going to make it disappear. So that's tucked in there. And it's disappeared in his body somewhere. Well, there we go. Mr. Make Your Own Grinch plush is done. What do we think? $3.99, he's not bad. Oh, I tell you what, he isn't done, is he? I almost forgot, we need to do a tiny repair. Now luckily I've got some white thread here. So yeah, we're just going to literally use, where is he? There he is. The invisible stitch to fix that. So if you have any kids' toys, dogs' toys, your toys that pop a seam, or just need in general a little repair, This is how you can do it. It's exactly the same as what we've just done. So we'll come in and under, send it back through, so we can loop in between our double thread here. Use the end of the needle to poke that bit in, and come back in and under again, so we're on the outside, and then just bring it over to where that seam is, and then take it back. So I'll make sure I'm actually on camera for you to see this. Bring it back to this side, bring it back to that side, and now that we're getting to the point where it's actually closed, we can bring it in right tight, and then we just pull. All fixed. And because this is regular thread we're using, we can do a little knot, we'll do a little double, stick it in, pull it out somewhere else, give that a little tug, snip it off, squeeze it around so it disappears again. Now he's done. He's not bad. It feels like parts of him, this is nice soft fabric for him, but the red feels a bit felty. I think they could have given us a little bit more stuff in to make him real chunky. Proper thread or regular thread would be better in my opinion, but this is quite nice. Embroider's thread costs more than regular thread, so they didn't really skimp out there. You get a decent needle come with it. You do have some thread left over. He didn't take long to put together, and he's quite nice. That is something that you could do with the kids. Obviously you'll sew him up, depending on their age. It's never a bad thing to learn how to sew. But if they're quite young, they can put all the stuffing in. It doesn't matter how he comes out. It doesn't matter if he comes out lumpy. His hat just wants to stay erect. I kind of want it to... They've got theirs like folded over like that. That makes me think of things like Wee Willie Winky, you know, like really old school, like Scrooge nightcaps. Stuck up seems ridiculous as well. What you could do is you could put, if you really wanted, a little stitch in there and there just to keep it down at some sort of angle. I'm going to leave him as he is. So yeah, I think for $3.99 he's okay. You want a little Christmas-based project. It'd be a very nice little gift at Christmas as well if you've got a kid or anyone who's into little crafty things. Can't really go wrong, so even if someone's a beginner and they're just starting out, and even if you're an old hat at this, it's still quite fun to do. The only thing that I'd personally prefer is if he came in more bits. That would be more fun to do. But I do understand that they're trying to make this sort of something that pretty much anyone can do. But apart from that, yeah, he's alright. $3.99, home bargains. Get yourself a cuddly Grinch. And he's a decent size as well, to be fair to him. Let me know what you think. Would you go out and give one of these a try? I'm going to decide now whether I keep this guy for myself or I get a second one and gift them to my girlies, because there's no reason they couldn't. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and checking me and my channel out. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's giving you an idea of what to expect should you try to get one. Should you choose to get one of these and try it yourself. Like if you like what you see, comment if you've got something to say, and subscribe if you really like what you see and you want to see more. Thank you all again so much. Take care. Have a Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Celebrations of your choosings. And see you in the next one.